So I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of tone of voice and what it means to have different voices and their different qualities. When you differentiate between your mind and your heart and bodily sensations and perception, and you have a very clear understanding of what is a voice within you and what is a voice without you, you learn to see how clearly different voices can be. Now, when a voice is with a particular tone, it says certain things. For example, you might have a voice that is frustrated. When this voice is frustrated, when this voice is imposing something, when this voice is trying to express something out of desperation, there's a frustration. And that frustration is going along with certain stories of negativity, certain stories of how bad things are, certain stories of how something is wrong, how things are wrong. Now, this is very different to a voice that is peaceful, a voice that is considered. It is a voice that is considered that can talk about, solutions, beautiful things, peaceful things, loving things, the good life, the things that are very much more about positivity. Now, of course, we don't have to put it just into something so crude as positive and negative, but you see a difference in the voices that you hear. Now, what we see in our digital sphere at the moment with the internet and with the technologies that we have a sharing of information, a sharing of voices, and you can actually listen to many different voices. You can hear people speaking. This is very much what you're doing when you're engaging with the digital sphere. What you may notice, a very curious thing, is that you will listen to a voice simply because you are familiar with the tone. You are familiar with the way in which the words are spoken. It is very much about how the words are presented rather than what is being said. Now notice this, because you have your few collection of favorite speakers that you come back to again and again, and you like the way they talk, and you just want to have your little fix of hearing them speak along in their way. And this is perfectly okay, nothing wrong with it, but what you'll notice is that if you are always doing this, you're not really digging into something. You're not really getting into the differentiation between what is your voice. You're not really getting into the understanding that this voice is just something you're addicted to. This voice is something that you're wanting to hear, that your mind is conditioned to hear. And that's very different to knowing what you are and what the voice within you is. Now, you could say you have an authentic voice. You could say that you have your true voice. And finding your voice is very important. Finding your voice is very much a part of being an authentic person, of being true to yourself, of being at home within your real self, your truest self, your highest self. And yet, the only way you can do that is to differentiate these different voices, to actually hear the difference, to see the difference. That's not my voice. That's the voice of someone who was speaking on the internet. And it goes even further, that it's not even just the sound of the voice, but the tone, the intention behind it. Now, the tricky thing is that the outrage voices, these voices that talk about such outrageous things with such an impression, such an insistence, these are the voices that get across. These are the voices that make their way into the mainstream. You'll notice this. Anyone who's talking in a mainstream way, anyone who's captured the attention of the masses, they have a kind of urgency to them. They have a kind of energy to them. And this is very different to someone who is peaceful. This is very different to someone who is quiet, in touch with silence, loving. Take a listen to some Osho discourses Listen to Osho speak as an example. The first thing you will notice, the very immediate thing, is that he talks very slowly. There's a very long gap between some of his words, some of his sentences. And he doesn't speak very hard. He doesn't enunciate. He doesn't push like this sort of thing that I'm doing here with this sort of aggression. He doesn't do any of that. He's very soft. Now, the reason that he speaks like this is partly because of a feature that he created his way of speaking to bring you into meditation, and it was actually designed as a device to put you in touch with the silence of your mind, to actually have the voice opening up gaps that you can hear the space between the thoughts, which is actually a method for doing this exact thing of differentiating between your mind and your heart and your perception and your body. So for one, he did it as a technique, as a device. And for two, a lot of his speaking environments were in a big arena where there was a microphone, and the delay of the microphone would go out to a crowd, and so that echo meant that he had to wait for the sound to go out. And also, just because he's in touch with his silence. He is in touch with what it means to have a foundation of silence that brings words into it, which is radically different to going on and on in the tangles of the mind, to being stuck with an emotional complex that drives words without knowing it. A lot of people do this. A lot of people speak from a place of emotion, all the while thinking that it's ideas. They think that it's the thoughts, the concepts that are driving them, or even the stories or the happenings or the descriptions or the explanations. Yes, they're mind-centric, and yet they're driven by emotion. They're driven by the feeling within them. And that really is the trap of not differentiating between the voice of the mind, the voice inside your head, and the feeling inside your chest. Yes? When you turn this upside down, when you do this the other way around, when you listen to your heart, it's very different. It's like that old saying, the mind knows nothing and can speak. The heart knows everything and is silent and cannot speak. And this connection is really the trick to understanding what is the authentic voice, what is your voice, and how is your voice existing as just a small trickle in a much larger experience. Yes, when you differentiate your mind and you have silence as your foundation, the voice inside your head is only a very small part of your experience. It's like a little trickling, yeah? Just like a little tap that's trickling. And how different is that to what people normally experience? People normally say things like, my mind is an absolute mess. It's just a torrent. It's a river of chaos. Such a mess of a mind. And just imagine what it's like to stop the mind, to have silence, to listen to the heart, and from there, allow the words to come. What is it that your heart wants to express? Notice how different that feels. What is it that your heart is feeling? Honestly. And notice how different the voice is when the heart is given a chance to speak. So this is something we will talk about more. Please do subscribe to my channel. I need your help with expanding my channel. I'm trying to get these ideas out there, and I'm looking for your engagement. So please do subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll be back very soon with the next episode.